grateful for all of the clarity that they've brought. So, what more can you want, guys? If you're able to come down to Manchester, we'll be here. You can see the Samba crew, the Dead Canaries come from the north.
Keep the mask on. Is that okay?
Oh, great! Thank you.
I've got an interview.
Do you want to go and ask the placard?
This one here, yeah.
Hello. Hi, tell us what's going on now with the movement around the place.
Yeah, sure. So we've just had another large sort of column of people to join us. So they're insisting on filling all the street around Parliament Square rather than obediently being on Parliament Square. And I've been talking to a whole load of the people who are new here, and it really is all kinds of backgrounds. That's the point to make. I've just been talking to a retired superintendent, okay? So he's a retired police superintendent working with Extinction Rebellion, because he is absolutely terrified of the breakdown in law and order that is inevitable if we do nothing about climate change. It's really important that people realise people with really reputational professions are coming out, because they realise if we don't do something now, they're terrified. Just been talking to an air pilot, a retired air pilot. This gentleman, he has seen the outbreak of extreme weather conditions over his career, and he's terrified. He's got his own story about the experience of climate change, and he's ready to get arrested for the same reason. There's a scientist just to my side here now. He's got written on his chest, "Science Prof. Just ask me about the evidence." Do you want to say something about that, sir?
Sure. I guess the real problem is that it's actually worse. When I read the science evidence, it's much worse than even the politicians are willing to accept. So that's why we have to act now, and time is pretty short. So the main thing I'm out here for today is have a citizens' assembly is the right time to be doing that now. This is the timely moment to push that forward. So you even have organisations like the National Farming Union, which are really behind doing something like this. They see the effects on the land in Britain. So it's not just overseas that we have these problems. It's in the UK, and it's also trying to connect to the rest of the country. People who are not here today but want to stand with us, but come from very different communities. And it's those people we also have to represent and try and bring them into the conversation. That's really what a citizens' assembly is about, trying to share that conversation and realise what the evidence is telling us that we have to actually do for our own country.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I found a lady who was dressed as Mother Nature. If you want to talk to her.
Sounds good, sounds good. See you! So we're now in Parliament Square. We've come to the statue of Taking Liberties. And for those who haven't been able to make it here today, there is a digital rebellion going online as well. So check out rebellion.earth and see what you can do online. Everyone can get involved in whatever way they can.
Cool, so hi Mother Nature. What are you doing here today?
Well, I'm here because of trying to get the climate ecological...
Sorry, they can hear you. They can hear you, it's fine.
Yeah, just keep the mask up. Keep it up. Oh, sorry, we need the masks on. You can just hold it there, it's fine. So where are we now?
So yeah, we're in Parliament Square. We've been talking to a lot of scientists about this climate emergency, and now we're going to hear from Mother Nature once she gets her mask on.
Right. Okay, yes, I'm here because we're trying to get the climate ecological emergency bill through and try and get a national citizens' assembly, because we've got floods and wildfires and bleak harvests and global heating. And
don't forget fire tornadoes.
Exactly. And also we need to get our MPs and governments on board to get this bill through fast to protect
got another fantastic.
Bristol, coming up to give us a bit of an introduction.
All right, hello everyone. For those of you who don't know me, as Macy just said, my name's Will. I've been a full-time rebel since October 2018.
Press here. To the number of press, go for this one. So this is back the climate and ecological emergency bill. Great.
So, do you want to say a few words about this? Do you want to say a few words about this bill that's being proposed today?
Right. Okay. So we are here to back the climate and ecological bill, emergency bill, because this bill is very important for three reasons. The first one is because it's going to be truly taking into account the carbon footprint of the UK, and it's going to place the ecology at the same place as the climate. Because they are the two sides of the same coins, really. So it's really important to consider the ecology, and it's also important because the decision should be driven by a citizen assembly that will advise the Secretary of State and that will advise the Member of Parliament. So is that okay?
Thank you very much for that. I think that was most eloquently put.
That's a scientist on this march. Back to the bill.
Look at somebody else.
This is lots of press. Hoping the press cover this demonstration. It's the issue that's going to affect everybody on this planet. Extinction Rebellion calls for the people to tell the truth about the climate and ecological emergency. Everybody, and we'll be back live later this afternoon. There's a V-Mix, which is a mix between live streams happening all over the country, taking place at 2 p.m. today on Facebook UK, also on Extinction Rebellion YouTube. So tune into that and see you later. Thanks for watching.
guys.
On the roof just out there, like it was an absolutely superb action. Rebellion, and, like, yeah, many of us was quite difficult, but exile went quiet for a bit. But then in January, the UK Rebel Hive got formed, which had representatives from all of the nations and regions around the UK. So again, Bristol, Wales and the Southwest being represented in the widest decision-making body in the UK, really helping to hold the movement through a really difficult part of our life, and kind of guide where we were going next. So that's been another way in which we've kind of drawn all the nations and regions together. And now we are finally back on the streets again. Yes! We're back where we're meant to be, which is on the streets, doing non-violent direct action. And each of these nations and regions brings their own particular strength to this. So, like, I don't know, like, this is kind of my personal opinion of the strengths and weaknesses. Sorry, no, not the weaknesses, the strengths of our great nations and regions. I feel like the thing that Wales brings is, like, this kind of, like, just get on with it, be in the thick of it, get locked on, just do what needs to be done attitude, where they just like move, just like get things done, right? That's absolutely amazing. And then Bristol brings this kind of like great organizational structure, all these decision-making processes and that sort of thing. And then the Southwest brings this kind of like really earthy, regenerative, community-based, like looking after each other and looking after like all of the people around us kind of thing. So it's like really great to have like as three nations and regions, like it feels like a really beautiful kind of balanced little trio of things working together. So I'm really looking forward to the next 5 days because, you know, as I said, everything goes in fives. We are going to do something really good here. We are going to demand that the MPs in Wales in particular, but also in the rest of the UK, take action on the climate and ecological emergency and back the climate and ecological emergency bill. We want everyone to back the climate and ecological emergency bill. It's what we're here to do. And all of our actions are all about pointing at like the importance of this bill, because it's like a really, like it's a great chance for us to like actually show the government what acting now means. And I'm now going to hand back to Tao and then Macy, who are going to tell you a little bit more about why we're in Cardiff in particular, and also what the climate and ecological emergency bill is.
So it was Will from Bristol, and then we got Cal from XR Cymru.
So we are here in the city for a very important reason. Cardiff is the 6th most at-risk city from rising tides in the world and the most at risk in the United Kingdom. And that means that during times of flooding, which are becoming increasingly more frequent and increasingly more serious, areas of the bay in which we will be protesting, the city centre, Grangetown, Riverside, Canton, Roath, Adamsdown, Tremorva, and this very land on which we are sitting right now will all be at serious risk of flooding, constantly. So whilst many rebels are targeting the seat of power in Westminster, people from across the country have also gathered here in Cardiff in solidarity with the most vulnerable city in the UK.
Cal from XR Cymru, and here's Macy from XR Cymru.
So, as Will mentioned, we're here to support the UK Climate and Ecological Emergency Bill, or the CEE bill. We're demanding that the UK government debate and pass it. So this bill is a private member's bill, and taking it through Parliament will be a hard-fought process, but it has been done before with other major climate legislation. This is an alliance bill that has been written by scientists, lawyers and activists, and it is gathering support from a broad range of campaign groups, businesses, charities and individuals. The bill has the potential to become the most significant move forward since the Climate Change Act in 2008. This afternoon, after the march, we'll be asking you all to sit
with our Welsh neighbours. I would like to extend our gratitude to Exarch Cymru and the good people of Cardiff for the very warm welcome we have received. Whilst difficult decisions have had to be made all around with regard to entering rebellion at this time, we acknowledge that of all cities in the UK and many around the world, Cardiff will be one of the first to suffer the full effects of the climate crisis with the rise in sea levels. Tal and I will now read out the vision reminder, after which we'll all take a minute in silence so that we may reflect and connect with ourselves, each other, and our purpose.
Gadewch i ni gymryd eiliad I ystyried pam ein bod ni yma. Gadewch i ni gofio ein cariad at dynoliaeth gyfan ym mhob gornel o'r byd. Gadewch i ni gofio ein cariad at y planed hardd hon sy'n bwydo, maethu a chynnal bywyd. Gadewch i ni gofio ein hawdd diffyant I amddiffyn hyn I gyd, am y tro ac am genedlaethau I ddod. Wrth I ni weithredu'r wythnos hon, a gawn ni'r ddewdra I ddod ar ymdeimlad hwn o heddwch a gwerthfawrogiad I bawb rydyn ni'n drod ar ei traws, I pob gair rydyn ni'n ei siarad ac I pob weithred rydyn ni'n ei gwneud.
Let us take a moment, this moment, to consider why we are here. Let's recall our love for the whole of humanity in all corners of the world. Let's remember our love for this beautiful planet that feeds, nourishes, and sustains all of life. Let's recollect our sincere desire to protect all this, for now and for generations to come. As we act today, may we find the courage to bring this sense of peace and appreciation to everyone we encounter, to every word we speak, and to every action we make in this emergency, together. Now we'll take a minute's silence. and the future of generations to come. The breakdown of the climate and ecological systems on which we depend, the loss of diversity in our oceans and lands, the increase in pollutants that destroy life as we know it, are all proceeding with increasing rapidity. A mass extinction event is underway on Earth, an event that we have created and that now threatens our own life. These crises can no longer be ignored, denied, or go unanswered. The willful complicity displayed by our government has promoted short-term gain and private profit at the expense of a stable climate and biodiversity. This is threatening our well-being and the life of all creatures. When government fails to provide adequate protection, it becomes not only the right, but the duty of its citizens to act on behalf of the security and well-being of our children, our communities, and the future of life itself. We hereby declare that the bonds of the social contract between government and citizens have been rendered null and void. We declare ourselves to be in rebellion against our government until informed solutions are applied to change our present cataclysmic course. We call upon every principled and peaceful citizen to rise and rebel with us. We refuse to bequeath a dying world to future generations by failing to act now. We act in peace. We act on behalf of life.
Here's Arlen from Bristol, coming to give us some information.
Hello everybody. We all good? Enjoying the sun? Good. Yeah, so I'm here to give the briefing for the rest of the day. Exciting, fun times. So yeah, we're going to march and join our friends at Caspian Point at the Welsh offices who have climbed up the building and have done some brilliant banner drops. We're going to show them some love and support. Then after that, we're going to make our way back, and we're going to go to the Senate and write a letter to our MPs, or a message in some form, because this is all about getting the MPs to pass the bill. So instead of just being boring and all doing exactly the same thing, I really encourage people to try and come up with interesting, exciting ways they can deliver the message to the MPs. You could do a song and dance, record it, send a video. You could do chalk drawings on the floor. You could super glue it to their window. Yeah. And if this doesn't float your boat because the MP's offices are a bit of a way away, we've got some other kind of flat pack, easy actions you can do around the city, and we'll just show everyone that we're here, and that rebellion is on, and that we're in a climate emergency, because they might have forgotten. I think that's me done. Who's next?
Here's David from Bristol, speaking on behalf of Outreach.
This is a real administrative matter. We're not going to serve any food in this park, so save all your beautiful thoughts about delicious dinner until a bit later. The food is going to be served at the campsite after the march. Now, yay, now who's next?
There's so many more things I needed to say. Wow. Yeah, so obviously we live in the time of coronavirus, and we need to be very careful with the things we do. So to have the march fit these kind of coronavirus safety guidelines, we're going to try and split into groups of 30 and be a sort of a fair distance in between each group. So how we'll do that is we'll get different banners, we'll all line up, and then we can kind of count and cut you into pieces while we follow the samba band. The other thing is that we won't be doing chanting in the same way anymore for today. We're going to try it out. So what we're going to do is have someone at the front with a megaphone, and they'll do the first part of the chant. For example, Extinction, and we know how many syllables Rebellion has, and then you just clap that along, and then we might swap around. We might have to do a bit of a practice, actually. Yeah, and we might do the same with the classical ones, what we all know to start off with. Maybe we can freestyle from there. So if I go Extinction. Yeah, we can try that. Extinction Rebellion. That's maybe more confusing. That's a lot of flat. Yeah, I think maybe the easier one would be like, what do we want? All right, okay, let's try this out. So there's a normal pace for that one, so it's like, what do we want? Climate justice, when do we want it? Now. So if we've got some people doing that. Okay. So go, what do we want? Climate justice, when do we want it? Now. Yeah, I think this will take some practice, but we'll get used to it. We've got the whole march to get good at it. And yeah, I didn't actually mention the time of anything. So hopefully the march should take just over an hour. It should be done by 3, and then we can do some affinity group workshops. Is also a bit I missed out, because many of you have probably come here by yourself and are not in an affinity group. And affinity groups are just a really great way to really get involved in the rebellion. It's good to have friends, it's good to have buddies to support you and to shoot ideas off. So we're going to have an affinity group formation, and then we're going to do the letter writing and message creating. And that'll be around 3 o'clock after we've done the march. Yeah, thanks. Oh, and so we're handing out placards and banners. All the stuff that's in the park will need to come with us. So all these flags and these banners we're going to need to grab and take with us on the march, and we're ready to go like soon. The Samba's here. We'll start lining up, and yeah, socially distance, and then it'll be easier to count, and then we can try and divide. Should we try that thing one more time? Extinction! Someone didn't get the message yet.
So for those of you just joining, we're in Butte Park in the centre of Cardiff. We've just had the opening talks, and Arlen's given his briefing on the action to come. And what we're going to be doing is marching together in socially distanced groups of 30. And we'll be heading down to the Welsh office, which is the representative office of Westminster here in devolved government, where I think 5 or 6 of our rebels have climbed onto the roof and done a massive banner drop. You might see some of that on our socials already. We're going to go down, show them some love, march along, accompanied by the Samba band. We're then going to all gather together, write, post messages, form some kind of recorded message, send it to the Welsh MPs to ask them to support initially the debate of the climate. We'll then head off in separate groups to the 4 different MPs to deliver those messages. So really beautiful weather here today. It's baking hot. Everyone's doing really well. We've got loads of banners, loads of colour. I think there's a lot.
Highly likely to create zoonotic diseases. I'm trying to get my words right here. It's something like 3 out of 4 diseases are zoonotic. I hope I got that right. But anyway, we're exploiting animals and humans, animals both human and non-human, and that is destroying our planet, and it is harming everything on it. And we have to put an end to it. We've got less than 6 months to take immediate I'll move around more. We've got less than 6 months to take immediate action against the climate crisis. We are already said to prepare for a 2 degrees increase, but this could also be a 4 degrees increase, which I don't know about you, but that absolutely terrifies me. I can't even imagine what 2 degrees will feel like, let alone what 4 degrees will feel like. It's something like the last ice age was something like 5 degrees colder than what we are now, and the ice age was a different world, so I don't even want to know what 4 degrees increasing is like. So this is essential. This is, people, everyday people who are scared about our future, about the future for ourselves, for other humans, for other animals on this planet. We're just trying to do the best we can. There are many different ways that you can get involved as well. You don't have to come down to a march. By being here, showing your support, that's something. If you have the capacity, you can donate as well. Or even in your area, maybe you can start an affinity group. Come to some DNA trainings, learn a bit about what Animal Rebellion is about. Well, here we go, we're going to do some speeches now. We'll see if I can get closer.
I wasn't here last year either.
So we've got this big banner. Everybody's signing their names against it. Last year we had some beautiful chalk on the sidewalks, some posters, some stalls, and it looked absolutely beautiful. And it was cleaned up afterwards. We left this place very beautiful, as we do with every action. If there is anyone in Adelaide, let's see if we can get involved. It's a beautiful city. I'm from Australia.
Okay, hello, Animal Rebellion.
Thank you.
So guys, Michigan Market has agreed for us to be inside the market this year again. Second time, we are in support of each other. So please march all the way in, so we are safe. And we can also remember how it was last year when we occupied Street Freedom for one whole night. The party for a planning speaker. So come in, you are welcome by the market. And please keep social distance and safe because we are here for everybody, including each other.
So this is Smithfield's Meat Market. It has the potential to be such a beautiful place. We fill it with plants and vegetables. We need to stop funding these destructive and exploitive industries that scientists are saying can cause or are likely to cause pandemics. We need to prevent that from ever happening again. This devastation that has happened because of this COVID-19, we can't allow it to happen again. When we can do things to prevent that, then why don't we? And we need to work together with farmers, with the media, with the carried with us as we march. So we're not here to shut down the market today. We were lucky last year that we could do that. But we're going to do a lot of exciting things this week.
Hello? Cool. Can everyone hear me? At the back? So I'm just going to do a quick housekeeping speech, and then we've got a couple of speeches coming up afterwards, and then we'll start the march. Yeah, well, thanks everyone for being here today. Yeah, I'll just go through the march route really quickly. So we're going to start, so we'll turn left out of here and down towards the river. Hello? And then we'll carry on towards the river.
Just joining, we're at Smithfield's Meat Market. They're just doing some housekeeping notes, so I'm going to do a little walk around this place. We were here last year in October, we were peaceful, and we continue to be peaceful because we're all a part of this toxic system. We need to stop funding these industries, and the government and the media need to tell the truth. We're going to be doing 10 days of actions that will be targeting these ideas of telling the truth, preventing future pandemics, to stop funding these industries and to start transitioning to a just and sustainable plant-based food system. We need to care for all life on this planet, that is human and non-human animals. Because it's scary. The state that our world is in currently, we are set for at least a 2 degrees increase. I can't even survive in 30 degrees heat, guys. This is legit scary. We're going to be starting the march pretty soon. We're going to do some speeches, and then we're going to march to Trafalgar Square, Parliament Square, all of them, to meet HS2 and Extinction Rebellion, Solidarity. The market is in operation today, unfortunately. We're just here to bring it back where we started. Yeah, so we do have plotted plants that we're going to leave here. Last year we had all these fruit and veg. We showed how beautiful this market could really be. Alright, so I think that's the end of that housekeeping. And it's good, we've got a lot of people here. So check out Instagram as well, check out Facebook, we're going to be posting, live streaming.
And then yeah, social distancing, obviously it's going to be quite difficult, but yeah, as we're marching, please try and stay 2 meters apart, wear masks. We've got hand sanitizer as well if you need it. And then yeah, with the police and the public, we want a friendly, non-violent atmosphere, so yeah, please treat everyone with respect. And yeah,
Rebellion, Extinction Rebellion is what we're about. This is non-violent civil disobedience.
And yeah,
we're all a part of this toxic system.
If
we come here with love, then that's the future that we want to create. Yeah, there's someone live streaming on Instagram. They might not be at this moment, but they will be.
Thank you.
Cool, so we're going to have Layla. Layla's amazing, so let's get down and listen to her.
I was here last year, standing alongside many of you, when we transformed Smithfield into a vision of a better world. And now I'm back. what we've achieved, why we are rebelling, and what is still to be done. Animal Rebellion is just over a year old. Our mission is to shift our unjust and destructive food system to one which is just, sustainable, and plant-based, to help address the climate and ecological emergency. We believe that we cannot end the climate and ecological emergency without ending the animal emergency. And we know that there can be no climate justice without animal justice. Yes. Animal Rebellion is building a mass movement to push these issues out into the public consciousness, to raise awareness of the devastating impact of animal agriculture on the planet and all her inhabitants. Successful social justice movements show us we need to get attention and shift public opinion if we want to pressure the government to listen to our demands. And we need to do this through disruption, civil disobedience, We kicked off our first rebellion this time last year by coming to Smithfield and making it into something beautiful. For a short time, we transformed this institution of death into one of life.
Satyagraha too, but we say Satyagraha, truth power. So this is the first poem for Truth Power, and it's directed here. Love song for the dispossessed. Your ancestors saw a bird and decided to dissect it, to understand it. You did not do it, but you are not free from it. My ancestors saw a bird swooping over the width of a wide river, marveling at such beauty, singing songs ardent and sweet to the rice harvest rhythms. I do not feel it, but I am not free from it. Let my ancestors meet your ancestors in the love of that which is lost, and in the dark shadows of our longings. Let our young walk again in balance and beauty. Thank you. And this second poem is about rewilding our psyche. Because we have many diasporic communities now in this place, from Africa, from the Caribbean, South Asia, and other continents, with new stories to bring. And let's not forget the communities of wild nature too. And this is a song. No, it's not going to be played, but it was a song from a jungle. The animals and the birds that sing in their wild nature, that this land has forgotten and must remember. So it's called Rewilding Psyche. Mournful cries, low and sweet, fill the dusky air. Here in this ancient jungle, still living its dream. Here the green man lives on, his roots tied and tangled to the presence of the earth, bursting through nose, mouth and ears, holding solid his thoughts like roots to soil. Bring back the green man to these western shores. Let sky meet earth once more. Thank you. So, stay rooted in truth, power, and rewild yourselves. Thank you.
What channel are you on? I'm London, but I need to come off soon, don't I, for them?
Thank you. Let's hear it for Mothia. Next we have Lazarus Tamana. Lazarus is one of the coordinators, the European coordinator of the movement for the survival of the Ogoni people. The Ogoni people, for those who aren't aware, have been fighting Shell for their land by the Niger Delta for years and sacrificed greatly for it. So it's an honour and a privilege to have Lazarus here today. Lazarus?
Extinction Rebellion! Yeah! Extinction Rebellion! Yeah! I'm happy to be with all of you today. Extinction Rebellion has come in to inject new life into our campaigns. Our campaigns for human rights, our campaign for environmental justice. And we in the movement for the survival of the Ogoni people are extremely very happy for what Extinction Rebellion is doing all over the world. We all want to live. All of us want to live. We want to live in a just world for everyone. But we have governments, we have corporate entities that has inflicted disaster, climate disaster on all of us. Those are the things that we are dealing with today in the form of climate change. They have devastated so many areas. They have taken wrong decisions. The parliament here have taken wrong decisions that has created a lot of problems for people all over the world, particularly people in the global south. Indigenous people are being suffocated by oil companies, fossil fuel companies, because of extraction. They want to make a lot of money, and very, very quick money, and this is causing havoc, environmental destruction all over the world. You might have heard of the people of the Niger Delta in Nigeria, the Ogoni people, who have been suffocated on the shell for over 60-something years now. Parliament gave them money lease to come and destroy our environment without due care. And that's what they have been doing. The pollution in the Niger Delta, or the pollution in South America, or pollution in the Southeast Asia, has affected people here in Europe and people in America. We know that. And that those things are caused by the fossil fuel companies. The parliament cannot speak against them because they are one and the same thing. The decision that is made is for the interest of corporate entities. Companies like Shell that are devastating land and communities all over the world. We, as subsistence farmers and fishermen, have suffered under Shell for many, many years and continue to do that. Their pollution has killed our children, has made us hungry. We cannot fish anymore, we cannot farm anymore because of their careless operations, which has affected people now in the UK in form of climate change. And let me tell you, in 1990, about 30 years ago, we formed the movement for survival of the Igbo people because we knew that a day like this will come. And we started campaigning because of what we saw that was happening in the environment. For 30 years, we have been campaigning against Shell for them to do justice to our environment, but we don't have any support from the Nigerian government or the British government, as they are part and parcel of the atrocities they are committing, the genocide, the ecocide that they are committing against our people. We need to remind the parliament here that the decision that they are making is affecting all of us, wherever you are. The wrong decision that they have made is affecting everybody. They are there for big corporation. If there is any disaster, the first people that will be rescued are the corporations, the banks, the fossil fuel companies, leaving the people that are supposed to be looked after. So where is the social justice? Where is the environmental justice? When the environment is devastated and there is no due care. The people are neglected. There is racism. There are so many things that are happening against the ordinary people, the people in the community that the government is supposed to take care of. Today signaled the beginning of rebellion. Rebellion against those policies.
we would be if we had listened to those voices. Imagine what kind of world we would have today if there was no such thing as colonization, if there was no such thing as despoilation of the earth, if there was no such thing as racial capitalism. All of these manifestations of this toxic system that has resulted in the climate and ecological crisis today. But let us also know